Hello, and welcome back to Fem Life. If you'd like to support me, please use my affiliate links mentioned below. Every purchase you make will bring me closer to my gender transition. Lucas peeked out the bedroom window, checking the hallway to ensure no one was coming. He was careful not to get caught while surveying the pink and white room, cluttered with stuffed animals and a large canopy bed. This wasn't his room or his house, it belonged to Ruby, his 5-year-old neighbor. Lucas quietly opened the top drawer of the white dresser, fascinated by the assortment of colorful underwear. He marveled at how soft they were as he held one in his hands. "What are you doing?" a stern voice asked from the doorway. Lucas knew immediately it was his sister. He quickly hid his hands behind his back and turned to face Megan. "Answer me," Megan insisted. "I'm not doing anything." "Nothing, huh? Let me see what's behind your back." Reluctantly, Lucas handed over the pastel pink pair of panties. "And why were you holding these?" Megan asked. "I wasn't playing with them," Lucas explained. "Then what were you doing?" "I was just looking, that's all. I didn't do anything with them." "Come with me," Megan said, taking the panties and closing the drawer. She led Lucas into the master bedroom. At 16, she was babysitting that night while their mother worked a late shift. Usually, Megan only had to watch Lucas after 10 p.m., but tonight she started at 4 while their mother and Matt, Ruby's father, were out on a date. Megan suspected that the close relationship between their mother and Matt might be causing Lucas's unusual behavior. "You're not going to tell Mom, are you?" Lucas asked as he sat on the king-sized bed. "I'm not sure yet." Lucas looked down, disappointed. "What's going on with you? You're usually so well-behaved." "I was just looking. And yesterday, you were looking through my stuff too. I could tell because you don't fold things properly. I just want to know what girls' stuff looks like." "Is that why you were looking up Ruby's skirt before?" Lucas blushed, embarrassed at being caught in that act, while Ruby ate a snack at the kitchen table. "So, why do you want to know what girls' stuff looks like?" Megan asked, sitting next to him and putting an arm around him to offer comfort. "I just wonder what it's like to be a girl." "You do?" "Sometimes, before I fall asleep, I imagine I'm a girl." "Okay, I understand. Stay here for 10 minutes for going through people's things without asking, and then we'll talk again." "Okay?" Lucas pouted as he watched his sister leave the room, feeling the sting of the punishment. Megan walked down the hall and into the living room where Ruby was still engrossed in cartoons. "Megan," Ruby said with a small voice, "you missed a good part." "It's okay, I had to talk to Lucas for a bit." "Oh, is he in trouble again?" "Just a little." "Did he break something again?" Ruby asked, recalling the last time Lucas had been in trouble for breaking one of Megan's perfume bottles. "No, he's just confused." "Confused about what?" Ruby asked, her attention drifting back to the TV. "I think he wants to know what it's like to be a girl." "Really?" Ruby turned off the TV with the remote. "Yes, but I'm not sure what to do." "Make him be a girl tonight," Ruby suggested excitedly. "And how do I do that?" "Make him look pretty and dress up." "Do you think that would help?" Megan asked, intrigued by the idea that had occurred to her as she left Lucas. Ruby nodded enthusiastically. "But if we do this, we need to keep it a secret from Mom and Dad." "Can you keep a secret?" Ruby nodded again, her enthusiasm evident. "Let me check with him first. If he wants to, you can help him get ready." "Okay?" "Yes, yes, yes." Ruby sang and clapped her hands. Megan headed back down the hall, first stopping at Ruby's room and then going to the master bedroom. "Is my time up?" Lucas asked as she entered. "Yes, but I want to ask you something." "Okay. Do you really want to know what it's like to be a girl?" Lucas's face reddened with embarrassment as he nodded slowly. Would you like to try it for a night? What do you mean? I mean, we can let you dress up and have fun as a girl tonight. Are you teasing me? Not at all. I understand your curiosity, and Ruby would love having a girl playmate for the night. But I don't know how. Don't worry, we'll help. So, do you want to? Yeah, Lucas said quietly, barely audible. Great, then go into the bathroom and put these on, Megan said, handing Lucas a pair of white panties with a smiley-faced flower on the front. Lucas took them, noting they were as soft as the pink pair he'd seen earlier. The flower goes in the front, Megan instructed, noticing his confusion about which side was which. Come out when you're done, and we'll find you something nice to wear. Okay? Lucas hesitated, fearing his sister might be teasing him. Once in the bathroom, he shut the door and was greeted by the strong scent of potpourri. He took off his sneakers, placing his dirty socks inside them to keep from losing them. Next, he removed his t-shirt and draped it over the towel rack, followed by his jeans, which he placed over the tub. Looking in the mirror, Lucas saw his scraggly shoulder-length brown hair, his small frame, and his worn-out briefs. He removed them, examining his underdeveloped privates. Disheartened, he pulled on the white panties and glanced at himself in the mirror. His reflection hadn't changed, no magic had happened as he'd secretly hoped. The panties felt a bit snug but were soft and comfortable, which made Lucas smile slightly. He noticed that there was no noticeable bulge in the feminine underwear and, despite pulling the elastic to check, his male organ remained too small to make a difference. Lucas walked back into the master bedroom, where Megan and Ruby awaited him on the bed. He instinctively covered himself with his hands. Don't be shy, Lucas, Megan said. It's just us girls here. Oh, right, Lucas replied, lowering his hands hesitantly. So, what do you think, Ruby? Megan asked. There's a lot to do, but the panties look cute, Ruby said, giggling uncontrollably, which made Lucas blush. The first thing we need to do is give you a girl's name, Megan said. How about Lucasa? Lucas suggested, still in his new panties. I don't think so. How about using your middle name? I don't know a female version of Lucas. Lee? Yeah, let's use Lee's. Lucas smiled at the new name. I see you like it, Megan said with a grin. Nice to meet you, Lee's, Ruby said, bursting into giggles again. So, what am I going to wear? Lucas asked, shivering slightly. First, we need to get you presentable and then find you some clothes. Okay? What do we do first? First, we need to clean you up and do something with that hair. Luckily, it's long enough for me to work with, Megan said as she and Ruby led Lucas to the kitchen. Megan set up a step stool in front of the sink so Lucas could reach the faucet, adjusting the water to a comfortable temperature. Stay here with Ruby until I get back, Megan instructed as she headed to the bathroom. A few minutes later, she returned to the kitchen, her arms full of towels and various bottles. We're going to use all of that? Lucas asked, surprised by the array of products. Don't you want to look your best for your first time as a girl? Megan said, placing the bottles on the counter near the sink. Yeah, I guess, Lucas replied, trying to hide his excitement, though his smile gave him away. The first thing we need to do is add a little glow to your face, Megan said, opening a small blue container. Lucas didn't resist much as Megan wet a pink circular cloth. Even though it felt rough compared to what he was used to, he trusted his sister. After scrubbing his face, Megan applied a pink and white bar that smelled a bit like their mother's perfume. Once she rinsed off the suds, she scrubbed his face again and then used 2 fingers to apply a white cream from the blue container. The strong alcohol smell almost made Lucas recoil. How's that? Megan asked. It stings, Lucas complained, tears welling up. He wasn't sure if it was the sting or the alcohol that was making him cry. Don't worry, it'll only be for 3 minutes, and then we can work on your hair. Trust me, this will make your face look great and give it a nice glow. Lucas nodded, counting the seconds until the cream could be removed. He didn't enjoy washing his face, and this was much worse than usual. Finally, when it was time to remove the cream, Megan carefully avoided getting any noxema in his eyes. There you go, looking prettier already, Megan said, holding a small mirror in front of Lucas's face. Lucas was surprised to see the difference and the glow on his face. When he bent down for Ruby to check the softness, shivers ran down his spine from the coolness of her touch. Although he didn't have a reference for how soft his face was before, he trusted his sister and assumed it was definitely softer. Let's get to your hair now, Megan said. It's wonderful to have such lovely hair, but you need to take care of it so it's soft and silky like mine and Ruby's. I don't see the stuff I normally use, Lucas said, scanning the bottles. That's because you're in for a treat tonight. Now bend over the sink so we can soak your head. Lucas complied, bending over the sink as far as he could. Megan used the spray nozzle to wet his hair, feeling the water trickle down his face and neck as she massaged his scalp. He enjoyed the treatment and felt like maybe things with Megan were going to change for the better. Okay, Megan said, grabbing a bottle from the counter, time to lather up and make your hair look nice. Okay, I'm ready, Lucas said, his voice echoing off the deep stainless steel basin of the sink. A moment later, he felt a thick dollop of shampoo on his head. The strawberry scent enveloped him, providing such a comforting feeling that he nearly fell asleep while his sister worked the shampoo into his hair. Megan spent about 5 minutes massaging his scalp, and though it took a while, Lucas didn't mind at all. He kept his head down, watching the suds swirl down the drain as Megan rinsed and reapplied. There you go, your hair smells amazing, Megan said as she added more product. You're washing it twice? Lucas asked, curious. No, this is conditioner. It will strengthen your hair and prevent split ends, Megan explained. Cool, Lucas replied, though he didn't fully understand what his sister meant. Now, stand up and turn around so I can wrap a towel around your hair and dry it, Megan instructed. Lucas turned around while still on the step stool. Megan wrapped a soft pink towel around his head, and when he looked in the mirror she held up, he thought he resembled someone wearing a headscarf. So, what do you think? Megan asked, noticing her brother's fascination with his reflection. It doesn't even look like me, Lucas said, seeing how his features appeared more delicate. Well, maybe it's not Lucas looking back, but it's definitely you, Lisa, Megan said with a smile, hugging him. He wrapped his arms around her neck, and she carried him to the living room. It was a rare treat. A few years ago, Lucas had decided he was too big to be carried. Megan gently set him on the couch, where Ruby promptly joined him. How long until my hair dries like this? Lucas asked. It'll take a little while, but we have other things to do first. Like what? I thought with 2 little princesses here, we could paint your nails, Megan suggested. Both of us? Lucas asked. Yes, if you want. It'll be fun, and by the time we're done, your hair will be ready, Megan said. Sure, Lucas agreed with a smile. He had always wondered what it was like to have his nails done, having seen his sister do hers many times. Megan went to the kitchen to gather the supplies. She started by trimming the children's nails with clippers. Despite having longer nails herself, she felt it was best for kids to keep theirs short. She then filed each nail into a rounded shape. With 20 nails to manage, it took more time than she expected, but she was pleased with the result. Finally, she applied pink nail polish to each nail with great care, aiming for perfection to make the night memorable for her brother. What do you think? Megan asked when she finished. It's pretty, Ruby said happily. Yeah, Lucas agreed, though the smell of the polish made him want to sneeze. I'm glad you both like it, Megan said with a smile, watching her brother admire his freshly painted nails. Is it time to do my hair? Lucas asked, glancing at his wiggling toes. Yes, it's time, Megan replied, removing the towel from around his head. Good, Lucas said with a smile, turning sideways on the couch so Megan could sit behind him. This will be a bit different from what you're used to, but you're going to look absolutely adorable, Megan said as she began brushing his hair. I'm going to give you pigtails like Ruby's, okay? Megan continued. Lucas looked at Ruby's cute hairstyle and nodded. Yes, that's okay. Megan retrieved 2 hair ties from a small package on the coffee table. She parted Lucas's hair down the center and gathered the hair on the right side, securing it with a hair tie. She repeated the process on the left side, pleased with how well the pigtails matched on the first try. How does that feel, Lisa? Megan asked. Lucas paused for a moment, realizing he was the Lisa Megan was referring to. It feels okay, actually kind of nice. Megan then brushed the front hair forward to create bangs and sprayed a grape-scented hairspray to keep them in place. She added a sunflower hair clip to each side for the final touch. Taking a step back, Megan admired her work. Oh my God, she exclaimed, marveling at the sight of the child with his big dimples and small button nose. Did it turn out that bad? Lucas asked. Not at all, you look like an absolute angel, Megan replied. Really? Lucas blushed at the compliment. It doesn't look like Lisa was ever a boy, Ruby added. Well, I think Lisa has been in her panties long enough. It's time for her to get dressed in something pretty, don't you think? Megan asked Ruby. Ruby nodded and took Lucas's hand, leading him to her room. We won't put you in anything too fancy since we're just staying in tonight, okay, Lisa? Ruby said. Lucas, now more comfortable with his new name, nodded as he looked at the closet with his sister. Here we go, Megan said, pulling out a jumper-style cotton dress covered in sunflowers. This will be perfect. Lucas examined the dress and smiled. I like it. Normally I'd let you dress yourself, but since we just did your hair, we don't want it to get messed up, Megan said. Lucas agreed and lifted his arms. Megan carefully helped him into the dress, adjusting it to fit his small frame. She then chose a pair of white sandals from the closet, which, though slightly large for Ruby, fit Lucas perfectly. With that, her brother was transformed into a little sister. Why don't you go look at yourself in the full-length mirror in the bathroom? Megan suggested. Lucas didn't know why he started to skip towards the bathroom, but he could hear his sister and friend giggling behind him. Usually, their giggles annoyed him, but this time he enjoyed it. He entered the bathroom and shut the door. After 10 minutes, Megan grew concerned about her brother's delay. She gently knocked on the door and listened intently. Come in, Lucas's voice called from inside, his eyes fixed on the image of the girl in the mirror. Megan opened the door and saw Lucas with tears in his eyes. Are you okay? Is that really me? Lucas asked, still gazing at the reflection. Yes, that's really you. Is that okay? I didn't think I'd look pretty. Is that a good or bad thing? Good, Lucas finally smiled. Great, then let's head back to the living room and enjoy the night. Lucas followed his sister back to the living room and took a seat on the couch opposite Ruby. They spent the next hour playing patty cake as they waited for the pizza Megan had ordered. I bet no one will even notice you're not a real girl, Megan said as she settled on the couch with them. You really think so? Lucas asked, his voice brimming with excitement. I'm sure. When the pizza arrives, he won't give it a second thought. I don't know. He's seen me before. When he arrives, just give him the money and see what happens. I guess I could do that, but what if he figures out I'm a boy? Megan thought for a moment. I'll tell him I made you do this, and that you'd be in trouble if you didn't. Okay, that should work, Lucas agreed and went back to playing patty cake. 5 minutes later, the doorbell rang. Lucas and Ruby rushed to the door, eager to meet the delivery person. Don't open the door until I get there, Megan instructed, following them. When she reached the foyer, she gave a nod, signaling it was okay to open the door. Lucas nervously opened it and saw the young delivery man holding a red pizza bag. "Hi there, pizza delivery," the tall, brown-haired man said, pulling out the pizza box. He had delivered to their house regularly and had a slight crush on Megan, though he was unsure if it was appropriate given their age difference. "Lisa is going to pay today," Megan said. "I see." The delivery guy scanned the children, unsure which one was Lisa. "Must be a girls' night in." "Yeah," Lucas replied with a smile, handing him the money. "Well, you've got a beautiful bunch of girls here," the guy said, winking at Megan. He then turned his attention to Lucas, kneeling down. "Now, princess, make sure not to tilt the box or the cheese might slide off. Can you be extra careful so I don't have to come back out here?" Lucas nodded and carefully carried the box to the dining room, with Ruby trailing closely behind. "So, we're all looking beautiful," Megan said, as the delivery guy lingered. "Well, one more than the others," he grinned, hoping he wasn't overstepping. Megan smiled at the compliment. "I'm Megan, by the way." "I'm Kyle. I noticed you don't have the boy with you tonight." "He's with his uncle, so I'm off duty tonight." "Well, these two are almost as cute as you. I've been meaning to ask if maybe you'd like to go out sometime, movies or dinner or something." "You mean like a date?" "Yeah," Kyle replied, swallowing nervously. "Sure," Megan said with a smile. "Why don't you call me later once you figure out what you want to do and when?" She wrote her number on the palm of his hand. "Awesome. I get off work at 10. Is it okay to call then?" "For this time, it is," Megan said, watching as Kyle headed back to his red Dodge Ram. Lucas put a slice of pizza on a paper plate for Ruby, another for Megan as she entered the room, and one for himself. "What took you so long?" Lucas asked. "He asked me out on a date." "A date with a boy?" "Yuck," Ruby said, taking a big bite of her pizza. "It's not that bad," Lucas replied, considering it. "He is kind of cute." Megan looked at her brother in surprise. "You really think he's cute?" "Yeah, don't you?" "Of course I do, but I didn't know you thought boys were cute." "Well, not all of them," Lucas protested. Megan ate her pizza while pondering her brother's reaction. Was he just playing the part of a girl, or was there something more to it? She wondered if he might be gay when he grew up or if this was just a phase. After the meal, which was unusually neat, the children washed their hands and faces to remove any pizza grease. "You have about an hour before bedtime," Megan said. "Okay," the kids replied in unison. "Come on, Lisa, let's play while we can." Ruby took Lucas's hand and led him to her room. She pulled out 3 Barbie dolls and sat on the floor. Lucas sat across from her, taking one of the dolls. They spread their legs and put their feet together, forming a diamond shape on the floor for their game. The hour flew by for both children. "Lisa, it's time to go back to normal. Can I please stay a girl for the night?" "But what if Mom and Matt come home and see you like this?" "I don't care. I like it like this." Megan thought for a moment, considering whether it was a good idea for their mom to see Lucas dressed as a girl. She decided she could just explain they were playing dress up and it was a way to keep the kids entertained. Lucas waited eagerly for his sister's decision. "I'll tell you what. You can stay a girl for the night, but I want your promise that you'll go to bed when I say." "I promise," Lucas smiled. "Okay, both of you get undressed to your underwear." Lucas and Ruby undressed right in the room, neatly placing their clothes on the bed and putting the sandals back in the closet. Megan retrieved 2 nighties. She dressed Ruby in a pink nightie adorned with candy patterns, which flowed to her knees and twirled gracefully when Ruby spun around. Megan then dressed Lucas in a light gray nightie that read "Girls Rule." It fell to his mid-thigh, and when he sat on the bed, he inadvertently flashed Megan. She chuckled but decided not to correct him yet. She removed the hair ties and clips from his hair, then allowed him to join Ruby in the other room to catch the last hour of cartoons on Nickelodeon before bedtime. As it neared 9 o'clock, the children's bedtime, the beams of headlights filtered through the window. Megan hoped the kids would be in bed before her mom and Matt returned. Unfortunately, they were still up, and Megan's mind raced, searching for excuses to explain why her brother was dressed in a nightie. "Hi, we're home," Matt called out as he and Samantha walked in. Samantha glanced at the couch, puzzled, then her eyes fell on Lucas's telltale cherry-shaped birthmark on his thigh. "Hi, Mama," Lucas said during the awkward silence. "And what's going on here?" "Megan let me be a girl tonight." "Did she now?" Samantha's voice carried clear irritation. "Yes, I got to wear a dress and had my hair done," Lucas started to explain. "It sounds like you had quite the day," Samantha interrupted. "I think Megan should take you home and put you to bed." "I'll deal with this when I get there." "Yes, Mom," Megan replied, lifting her brother into her arms to carry him home. "Can you believe this?" Samantha said, her frustration evident. "Treating my baby like a girl. Who knows what's been going on while I've been out working?" "What's the big deal?" Matt asked, trying to calm her. "Turning him into a little girl, that's what." It doesn't sound like he minded. But still, Samantha continued searching for reasons to be upset. "He was probably just curious about what girls do, and our girls helped him out. It seems like he had a good experience. And if he wants to keep doing this? Let him," Matt said. "What harm can it cause? It could mess him up mentally. Look, if he's curious about being a girl, it's better to let him explore that curiosity. It might help him move on faster." "Do you really believe that?" "Sure. He looked adorable, too." "And you'll be supportive?" "Of course," Matt said, embracing her and giving her a kiss. "If he wants to be a girl for a while, we can manage." "Maybe. I'll talk to Megan before I head to work and see what's going on." "Matt, you talk to him tomorrow morning? You're usually better at understanding these things than I am." "Sure thing. Maybe we can also help him improve his behavior in the process." "We'll discuss it more tomorrow." Samantha gave Matt a small kiss and walked to her house. "Mom, I can explain," Megan said defensively as her mom entered the kitchen. "I certainly hope you can," Samantha said. "He was just curious about what it's like to be a girl, so we dressed him up. We didn't do anything inappropriate." "So this was all his idea?" "Yeah, I swear." "Well, tomorrow morning, take him over to Matt's house for breakfast so they can talk about this. Leave him dressed as he is now." "You want him to stay dressed like this?" "That's really up to him, I think. We'll discuss it more tomorrow. I need to get ready for work." "Okay," Megan said, heading into the living room to catch some mature programming on TV for the first time all night. Samantha walked into her son's bedroom. Lucas was still awake when she turned on the light. "Hi, sweetie," Samantha said, sitting on the bed. "Hi, Mama," Lucas smiled. "It looks like you had a lot of fun being a girl tonight." "Yeah, it was cool. Matt wants to talk to you about it tomorrow." "Is that okay? Am I in trouble?" "No, not at all. I just think it's something you should discuss with another guy. I have to get to work soon and can't talk with you tonight." "Okay, Mama. Good night, Angel." "Night, Mama," Lucas said, closing his eyes to fall asleep.